Good afternoon everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all doing amazing. Today's video I'm going to be sitting down and having a little chat with you all, talking about overcoming the feeling of being self-conscious when going for a run. I think this is something that's probably not spoken about enough, at least from what I've seen as someone who still considers themselves, I guess, a newbie runner. And this is something that I definitely had to manage on my running journey. First of all, little life update for everyone. I am still really freaking happy with my life decisions at the moment. Still recovering from burnout, still exploring a whole new field. I am just so freaking happy. I feel like myself again, and yeah, I'm just doing amazing basically. In other news, my podcast with my good friend Ella, which I have mentioned, I have shared on my YouTube channel before, called Just Can't Hack It. It is going off. We have so many amazing things planned, particularly to fill out the rest of the year, but I know going into the new year, I think it's gonna be something really special. So if you haven't already, you should definitely go check that out. It is available on iTunes and Spotify. iTunes, I keep calling it iTunes, Apple and Spotify. In terms of another running update for you all, so as I've mentioned before, I am doing the London Marathon in April next year, and I wanted to really step up my running journey. What I mean by that is I have decided, / I've taken the step, and I've gotten myself a running coach. I'm really excited about this. So I was using running plans before. I started using Couch to 5K, and then I swapped over to the Runner app, and both were amazing. Like Couch to 5K literally got me to do a 5K run, which is great. And then the Runner app got me to my half marathon. And don't get me wrong, both were fine. I just think now I want to just step up my game. I think that my running could be a lot better, and I think I would really benefit from having a coach. Because when it comes to the London Marathon, I really want that to be just like my absolute best effort. Like I want to go in feeling so prepared and feeling amazing basically. I just really want to smash it out of the park. I have just started with him. He's actually based in the UK, so it'd be really cool. Fingers crossed he'll actually be around for the London Marathon and I'll get to meet him in person as well. It's basically an online coach, and yeah, I started with him as of this week, and we are basically in the early stages of getting to know each other. We've done some preliminary planning where he's going to see how I go and I'm going to give him feedback, and yeah, this is just the perfect time to do all of this, because it gets kind of like the off season for me, in that the marathon training block won't really start until end of the year / January. So we've got like 4 to 6 week block of just like getting those basics down, getting to know each other, and yeah, I'm honestly really excited. I think it's just brought back that little spark of running to me. Like it's just giving me that little kick that I needed, because not that I wasn't enjoying it, but I guess I wasn't enjoying it. Like since my half, my momentum had sort of gone downhill a little bit, and also with that little foot injury that I had that flared up, I just wasn't really feeling it, and my runs had definitely gone down, and I just really hadn't been putting the time and energy into it. So yeah, long story, but I'm very excited about this running coach, and I'll give you guys more updates as they come along. But for now, let's dive in. I think there are a few different ways that people can feel self-conscious when they run. I know this is something that I definitely experienced. First of all, I obviously don't look like the typical runner. I'll insert a little photo of what I typically wear when I go for a run here. It's very much like an oversized t-shirt with some comfortable shorts that aren't short, so my thighs don't chafe. And yeah, I just think it was a little bit of a mental game of getting over that feeling of not looking like a runner. And so it didn't bother me too much, but I definitely had it in the back of my mind, like when I started going out, not even so much in the gym on the treadmill, but when I started going out to like publicly to run just in the streets, in my head of like, wow, I don't look like a runner. Like, will people think I'm a bit weird? Will people be like, what is she doing? Like, she's not a runner. So I did kind of block that out a bit, but it definitely was on my mind. And then I guess the other issues I had as well as like a newbie runner, and I think this is something that probably a lot of people experience, even those who are more experienced runners, but I'm not really running fast enough. And like when you're out for a run in the morning, like I know for me, when I'd run in the city and do my city runs in the morning, I would not be the only runner there, and I would just feel so slow. Like everyone would overtake me. I would be like, oh my God, do these people just think, wow, what a slow person? Is that a thing? And then I think that can really get in your head, because it means you kind of aren't focusing on the pace that you should be running, and you're focusing on what other people are doing and trying to keep up with them. And I just think it's obviously a really bad idea. You're not running their race, you're running your own race. I want to touch on the fact that as a woman, it can be a little bit confronting at times about when you can run. I'm based in Sydney, Australia. It is summer now, which means that it's gonna get, it's not even summer, but it's basically summer. We're going into summer, which means it's gonna start getting really, really hot. In fact, it's already quite hot as it is. So really the peak times to run for me are first thing in the morning, but I have to be really careful because I don't feel comfortable or safe going for a run in the dark. Love that for me. So I just wanted to touch on those issues / thoughts and feelings that I have had as a newbie runner and how I basically have dealt with them and how I'm working to overcome them. First of all, the whole appearance thing and not looking like a typical runner. That is just like, a reminder to myself and a reminder to anyone out there who may be feeling that way. Even if it's not running, just about any sort of exercise, this is your vocal reminder that there is no shape, there is no set shape as to what a runner or a person working out needs to look like. And I think when I see someone going for a run or working out, I'm like, oh, look at that skinny mini, look at that, whatever it may be, going for a run. I'm always like, if I see someone running, I'm like, damn, look at them go, like props to them. So I think it's really important just to try and take a step back and get out of your own head if you are thinking like, oh, I don't really look like a runner, I don't feel like a runner. Even, I think the most judgmental thought I'll think about another girl when I see them running is like, oh, I'm so jealous because I'll see them running in like a nice sports bra and maybe some shorter shorts than me, or like the really nice flowy shorts that are nice and short. I'm like, wow, that would be nice, but that's not gonna be me because I don't want the thigh chafing, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay. So I think my first tip is just taking a step back, getting out of your own head. It is okay to just go out as yourself because you're actually going out and doing a run, and I think that's incredible. So if you're feeling like that, it's okay. There is no set shape to being a runner. My second thing, which is kind of off the back of that, is, and I've mentioned this before in my top tip videos, is being comfortable going for a run. I personally love, and I have felt self-conscious about it, but I'm, again, like, just don't care about it, it's not important, is like the gear and the get-up. I've felt a little bit self-conscious about being a newbie runner or not even doing like a big distance and running with like the whole gear on, the Oakley Sunnies, the running vest, all the gear. Like sometimes I feel a little bit self-conscious, like I haven't earned the right to run with this sort of kit on yet because I'm such a newbie runner. And I need to stop saying that because I've literally been running for like most of the year now, but it still feels so weird to me. I still have that feeling of like imposter syndrome a little bit. Anyway, it's just wild to me. I guess my little tip for overcoming the imposter syndrome side of running and like you shouldn't be wearing the kit is, again, take a step back. It's all functional stuff. I think it's really great. Like I remember when I started buying some of the running kit, I was like, this is so motivating. Like I'm so excited to go out and try, like go for a run, try my running vest. I actually find that even though I feel a little bit strange and like I haven't earned the right to be in the running kit, is actually a really great motivator. And again, it's something functional. So if you want to wear the running kit, wear the running kit. These Oakley Sunnies were not in the budget, but I'm obsessed. I look a bit cray, but I'm obsessed with them, you know? And I think I mentioned in a video a while ago, like it was so cool. Like the first run that I went on with the Oakleys, I ran past a couple and the guy was also in Oakleys and he was like, nice sunnies. And I was like, anyway, my takeaway from that little point is it is normal, it is okay, I think, to feel that little bit of imposter syndrome around it. But if it's gonna motivate you and it's actually quite functional, like being able to carry water and food around, I'm all for it. Why shouldn't you wear it? You have absolutely every right as every other person to have the running kit on when going for a run. The third thing I think even experienced runners can feel a little bit self-conscious about, which we touched on before, is running speed. I think it's very normal that when everyone goes out for a run, they're kind of thinking, oh, I'm not going as fast as everybody else. Like I should be going so much faster. Like I'm so slow. And trust me, like I'm actually slow. Like I see people say this being like, I'm so slow. No, I'm slow. I did an easy run yesterday. My pace was 8:30. That is slow. I'm watching people out here being like, oh my God, I'm running at like a 6:30 pace. I'm so slow. 8:30 pace, that is slow. But you know what? That's okay. I was so freaking happy with my easy run yesterday. Like this was the first run I did with my coach that was planned, and it was actually a treadmill run. And if you've watched my videos for a while now, you know that I'm actually not a fan of the treadmill runs anymore, but it was amazing. Like it was so, so good. And I had my coach in my program basically when we spoke being like, I need you to really, really run at an easy pace. Like if you think you're running your slowest, like I guarantee you can run slower. And the really interesting thing he said to me about it was, what people don't realize is that like they run an easy pace, maybe a few seconds, maybe 10, 20 seconds if that, slower than their regular pace. His easy pace, and my running coach is amazing, like he's run so many marathons, his easy pace is a whole like minute and a half slower than his average running pace. When he said that, I was like, okay, yeah. So I was like, I think my running pace, like, and on a good day, if I was to do like a proper run, would probably be like a 7:45. Like if I was being fast, like a 7:30 to like a 7:50 pace is probably like my like race pace, let's say. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm actually gonna really take it easy. And I was on the treadmill doing my 8:30 pace, and I was like, this is great. I didn't have to stop. I felt amazing. Even though on either side of me, I had people like doing sprints. I had a guy running fucking like 10 Ks an hour, which would, you know, his pace would have probably been like 5 something, whatever. You know why? Because you're running your own race. Gotta keep telling yourself, if you're worried about what other people are thinking or, you know, trying to keep up with someone else, it's not about them, it's about you. Running is such an individual sport. It is all about you. I think it is something we can all fall into that habit of, particularly when you're out running and there's a bunch of other people around you of like, oh my God, so embarrassing. I'm not going as fast as them. I'm so slow. Who cares? You're running your own race at the end of the day. It's easier said than done, but you just gotta try and, I guess, tell yourself that like at the end of the day, it's so fine. And if you want like another fun tip for everyone who's been like, oh, my 6:30 pace is so slow, my running coach, he's had his easy pace is like 6:30 and he's fast. He's done so many freaking marathons. So for anyone saying 6:30 is slow, that's freaking fast in my books, okay? Now, the last thing I want to touch on is the whole safety element as being a female. I know a lot of women, especially this comes with the whole feeling self-conscious and maybe not wanting to run out in public, but also again, managing the heat. I really just want to touch on that issue of being a woman. You do have to be very mindful about running in the dark. I mean, look, touch wood, I am in a very safe-ish neighborhood, but you never know. So if you are someone who's avoiding running in public because you are feeling a little bit self-conscious, please just be really careful of that, because as women, we know we've got to be very mindful of our safety. I think just be really smart about it. Make sure, you know, you've told someone where you are, make sure you're well lit up and visible. So particularly if you're running in the dark, like cars or anything can see you and you're not gonna risk your safety in that regard. I just wanted to quickly touch on that point because I have heard stories of women who don't want to run in like the daylight in public because they are feeling very self-conscious, so they run at night. But yeah, I just think with that you have to be so careful because you just never know. Guys, that was a lot of rambling. I am gonna leave you with that one. It's nothing too massive, nothing too dramatic in this video, but I think it's just something that I want to talk about because it's not really well spoken about. And again, I just want to let people know that if you are feeling self-conscious when you go for runs, you're not alone. I think the main takeaway is just know that if you're going for a run, you're doing fucking awesome. Like, you're absolutely killing it and you should be so proud of yourself. I'm gonna wrap up the video here, guys. Short little sweet one. If you like this video, please do me a massive favor and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It just does so much for me. As you know, we do all the things together here. This is a safe space for everyone. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.